Welcome inside a special web edition of Cuse Countdown. I'm Bailey Lipschultz alongside Andrew Morris and Ben Roth. Guys, it's Halloween weekend. What are you dressing up as?
I'm going to be Lieutenant Dangle, everyone's favorite police officer out of Reno. Got some short shorts. I'm going to be comfortable tonight.
After a long search, I'm a Teletubby, the yellow one. So if you're looking for a Teletubby, that's me.
Lieutenant Dangle, Teletubbies. I'll be Charlie Brown. But guys, Syracuse getting an early treat. Dalvin Cook officially ruled out by Jimbo Fisher. How big of a loss is that for the Florida State Seminoles?
Well, I mean, this is 1,000 yards of production you're losing. It's Florida State's best player, arguably their best running back in program history. And when you lose 1,000 yards of production, that's a pretty big loss.
It's huge. I don't think there's any other adjective to really describe it. You're losing a guy that's averaging 8.2 yards on the ground. But Jock Patrick, a true freshman, 5-star recruit's going to be filling in. So I don't know how much of a loss it's going to be in the end.
And this comes just 4 weeks after Mario Pender was out with a collapsed lung. But guys, a weak running back core for Florida State. Andrew, who's your X factor in this matchup?
Well, my X factor is now Everett Golson, just because when you lose the running back, a lot of the weight is obviously going to be placed on the quarterback. All Everett Golson has to do is manage this game. Last time he played Syracuse, he was on Notre Dame, and he threw 4 touchdowns and over 350 yards. So if he plays similarly, Florida State has a very good shot to win.
My X factor is Jordan Fredericks. I think Tim Lester needs to get him more involved in the game if Syracuse is going to be competitive, because Fredericks, he was a 2014 New York Gatorade Player of the Year. So he's a good running back, and he's shown that against Rhode Island, against Pitt. He ran for almost 90 yards. So he really needs to establish himself if SU is going to be competitive in this one.
All right, so those are the guys who are going to have to step up. Andrew, when the clock strikes 0, what is your prediction?
I'm going to go with 35-14, a big win for Florida State. If Everett Golson decides to throw the ball in the air, he has very talented wide receivers to catch the ball. If he doesn't want to do that, he can just dink and dunk and pick this pretty bad Syracuse secondary apart. It's going to be in a very loud, packed house down in Tallahassee. 35-14, Florida State wins.
Similarly, I'm going 42-10 Florida State. Everett Golson's going to pick apart this Syracuse secondary, which you touched on. This Syracuse defense is so focused on an over-aggressive front line that it leaves its secondary really bare. So Everett Golson, who threw for 4 touchdowns his last time against SU, that number could be 4, 5, 6. It might get ugly.
Both of you guys taking the safe bet with number 17, Florida State, over Syracuse. That's all the time we have in this edition of Cuse Countdown. Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Citrus TV Sports.